It's times like these that really remind, I think, all of us why we love One Piece so much. Oda just giving out quality. All of these chapters just giving out quality since this arc began, but these last two chapters have just been something else. Last week, us being reminded why Luffy is captain of the Straw Hats, him showing his maturity, him jumping in and going up against someone with a billion-berry bounty, and not even caring about anything. He didn't think about anything. He just wanted to save his crew, and he was using the chance that Pedro gave all of them. It was amazing. It was just to show how much development Luffy has gotten over his journey. Then in this chapter, Jinbei's speech, to just seeing what's going on with Sanji and Pudding, to also seeing the Katakuri versus Luffy fight. Just Oda has delivered quality this week, and oh my, the wait was worth it. I just want to ask a quick question. Can Luffy defeat Katakuri? That is a question I was asking when I was reading this chapter, because when you see the fight going on between Katakuri and Luffy, Katakuri is a seasoned veteran. He is someone that has seen so much. He has been around for a very long time, and he is very strong, and he's a part of a Yonko's crew. So, he has a lot of weight on his shoulders. Now, Luffy, as we know, he has a lot on his shoulders, too. He's went through a lot. He has developed and gotten a lot stronger. However, one thing that Oda has wanted to remind us time and time again when it comes to this arc of One Piece, or since entering the New World, is that this is no longer a game. This isn't a joke anymore. This isn't the first half of the Grand Line. This is the New World. This is an area to where you can lose your life like that. It's gone. And that is the danger of this part of, the Grand Line. And also, when you enter a Yonko's territory, you're putting yourself even at a greater risk than normal, because they control this area. It's like their absolute territory. You come into this, you're just asking for a death wish. And in this case, is Luffy strong enough to face someone like Katakuri? Because throughout the fight, Katakuri is matching everything that Luffy does and using it against him. But before I go any further, though, before I answer the question and tell my thoughts on that, I want to talk about the Jinbei stuff and then the Sanji Pudding stuff first before I get into the Katakuri and Luffy stuff, okay? Because that's the big beef of the chapter I want to kind of dive into. But before I talk about that, I need to get the other stuff out of the way. So let's talk about a part that really just made this chapter have a really good opening. Because I was going to be a little bit salty, I'll be honest. I was going to be a little bit salty if we didn't have, an entire chapter focused on Katakuri and Luffy. But after reading this chapter, I'm completely fine with it. Oda did a very good job with the pacing of the chapter to the characters and getting the update status on Sanji and Pudding. Just overall, the chapter was perfection. It was great. But the big thing, though, was, that really won me over with this chapter was the start. Jinbei's speech and what he said about Pedro and what he said to all of the Straw Hats on board the Sunny. All of them are mourning the loss of Pedro, which, as many of us have discussed, we have stated that Pedro could possibly come back. But after seeing the last chapter, it is pretty much confirmed that Pedro is gone. The message of the Nox Pirates, but also the meaning for Pedro's loss and how he died for Carrot to have a better character. First, you can get characterization and development. So, there was just a lot of weight there. But then also, Pero, how he was able to survive. His arm got blown off, and he was really hurt. And even Big Mom got launched. She got ejected away just because of how powerful the explosion was. So, for Oda to even put stuff like that in, it shows that Pedro is gone. He is not coming back. And it also holds more weight with what Jinbei said in this chapter. He's like, don't let Pedro's loss make you sad. Honestly, you should feel happy for what he has done. What he has done has saved us all, but gave us an opening to be able to get out of here and possibly survive. All of us can survive. So because of that, we should not mourn Pedro. We should actually praise him for his actions. And Jinbei was being a really, really good character in this chapter. Just the speech he gave to everyone. Because Brooke was like, whoa, what you just said was very stone-hearted, don't you think? Don't you feel like you're a little cold after what Pedro did? And then Jinbei explains, and then everybody realizes that Jinbei is correct. Once again, this goes to show the role that Jinbei is playing in the Straw Hat crew. He is like the crew's I guess, adult figure, or a father figure of the crew. He's keeping everybody in line, keeping everybody in check, but also realizing the purpose of what they need to get done. Because when it comes to the Straw Hat crew, let's just face the facts here. They are really intelligent, they're really strong, and they're competent, yes, but there is a lot of cases to where they are just not organized enough to be able to get certain things done. And in this case, that's where Jinbei comes in. Jinbei is a character that keeps everything organized and allows everybody to realize what is going on. But also, out of all the characters that were a part of, this chapter that Jinbei was talking to, only Jinbei seemed to really catch on to what Luffy was actually doing. When Luffy charged towards Katakuri, he was being a captain, he was being mature, he was realizing what Pedro did, and he was not going to waste that sacrifice, so he charged headfirst into Katakuri to handle it and settle it with him, a mano a mano. And Jinbei realized this. He realized what Luffy was doing, and he was like one of the only people to realize what Luffy was doing, which makes a lot of sense, because you know that Luffy and Jinbei, they have been through a lot together. The Whitebeard War, that is a big part of the series that has shaped Luffy's character so much. And in the time skip, we know for a fact that, Jinbei and Luffy, they have seen a lot of stuff, they've been through a lot, and so Jinbei kind of knows how Luffy acts, how he constantly looks at certain situations, and Jinbei's probably realized how he could kind of understand what Luffy is wanting to do at a certain given moment. So I do like that. I really love Jinbei's speech. He really added so much more weight to Pedro's character, but also showing that he's a great addition to the crew because he's able to keep everybody in line and realize what they need to focus on instead of mourning the loss of someone, because he got everybody to start thinking and start working and get the crew to continue to move to try to escape from Big Mom's territory. So with that being said, though, let's talk about Big Mom. Now, I can't be the only one that was reading this chapter that got chills. Like, I got chills all up my back and all that when I saw the footstep of Big Mom just walking on water. I'm like, no way. Like, no way. Like, no way. Like, when I saw that, I'm like, there is just no way she is walking on water. Now, I mean, granted, I could see a Yonko walking on water because they're strong. They're incredibly strong. And if there's one thing that Big Mom has proven time and time again of this arc is that you do not underestimate her. She is crazy scary, and she is someone, if she wants something done, she will get something done, and she will chase you to the ends of the earth, and that is definitely proving more and more true as the chapters continue to roll out by Oda-sensei. I mean, she is now chasing them across the ocean on water, or a giant candy sea slug. Normally she would be riding Zeus, but Zeus isn't around, thanks to the entire event what happened with Big Mom and all that, Nami, but basically Big Mom chasing the Straw Hats and walking on like a sea slug, just warning the Straw Hats. That is just creepy. It's so creepy, and I'm like, the power of her right now, the way she just will chase you and chase you and chase you till she gets what she wants is something that is absolutely terrifying. So, just Big Mom's threat is just still there. They are still not out of hot water yet because they're getting chased by Big Mom, which is like, they need to get that cake soon. If they don't get that wedding cake soon, they're going to be in a really bad state. Because if she continues this rampage, they're not going to get away from her. Because you have a big fleet behind Big Mom and she's just walking on the water, which is like, oh, like, that's scary. I cannot emphasize enough of how scary that is, that Big Mom is walking on water with a big fleet behind her, just going after, the Sunny. It's scary. So anyways, with that being said, let's move over into the, Pero stuff. So Pero, I gotta say, out of all the villains I've seen over the years of reading One Piece or watching the anime, he is definitely a villain that stands out in terms of just being very creepy and has a really dark and interesting personality. Like, I want to discuss his character for a second, okay? This man got his arm blown off. Like, his arm is gone, thanks to what Pedro did. And you would think normally if you lose your arm, you would be very, very angry, because losing a limb is a big thing. It's a legit big thing. Losing a limb is like losing a big part of yourself, and you'll no longer be able to probably perform like you once did. But then he states in this chapter, he's like, losing my arm doesn't really matter to me. It doesn't really bug me as much. I could just easily remake my arm with candy. I could just have a, artificial arm with candy. What really bugs me is every day when I make this candy arm, he's like, every time, I grab this cup of tea and I notice my hand is starting to melt, I'll be reminded of Pedro. I'll be reminded of what he has done to me. And that right there, I'm like, so this man doesn't even care that his arm got blown off. He cares that he cannot drink his tea properly anymore. So I'm like, that's just, it's insane. And just the way he looks, the way he's so beat up, but he's still chasing after them, that right there is just scary. In some ways, it's even scarier than Big Mom, just because he's kind of level-headed in some ways. But, yeah. Okay, so with that being said, let's talk about the Katakuri versus Luffy. So, I've made you guys wait a long time now in this video to just see my thoughts. So, Katakuri, looking at this chapter, it seems like Luffy is just no match. That's the first impressions you get from reading this chapter, because Katakuri is copying everything that Luffy does. Gear 2nd, Gear 3rd, and, I mean, what we can assume is he might even be able to copy Gear 4th. We really don't know. We have to see where that goes, but he is copying Luffy's every technique and making it much bigger and much stronger and overpowering Luffy. And the scary part about all of this is that this is the first time Katakuri's ever had to use these moves. Like, he's just looking into the future what Luffy is doing, analyzing it, and then he's recreating it, and then he's fighting Luffy. So this is his first time using these types of moves, and he's already better than Luffy with them, which once again shows the level of Katakuri compared to Luffy, and how Luffy has a lot more room to grow and get a lot stronger. So I'm looking forward to seeing how that is done, like just seeing how Luffy could possibly get out of this one. But anyways though, let's talk about the possibilities here. So, from what we can assume is Luffy's bound to win, which we think. He's bound to win. I mean, he has to win. I mean, to get to the end of the series and be the Pirate King, obviously he has to get away or win. But what could possibly happen here? Since he's by himself, he's backed into a corner, what options does Luffy have available to him? Well, number one, what I believe is going to happen, either Luffy's going to go Gear 4th, and Katakuri's not going to be able to counter it at all, because just maybe Mochi doesn't work that way like his Gear 4th does, and he just can't replicate that, and Luffy's going to overpower him with the Bounce Man. Or, if he does replicate that, I feel like Luffy's going to have to use a new technique, you know, Gear 5th or something. He'll have to use something even beyond Gear 4th, which is what many of us have been speculating for a long time, that Luffy has another technique that he hasn't actually revealed yet. For instance, a new transformation or something, like a new gear, and it could be Gear 5th. And it could be, like, incredibly fast, and maybe it's so fast that Katakuri just cannot even keep up with him at all. For instance, Luffy just moves so fast, even if Katakuri can see it, he just can't move fast enough to be able to even do anything against it, because that's how fast Luffy is going. That's what many have speculated could possibly be going on here. Now, another thing that could happen is Luffy has awakened Devil Fruit. He awakens. And as we know, this has only been shown, like, once, actually. As we know, Doffy is the one that showcased the awakening of the Devil Fruits and how this is a possibility, and he turned, like, the environment around him into, like, string or whatever. What's to say Luffy doesn't have an awakening in this fight? I mean, he might have his awakened Devil Fruit, and maybe he turns everything in his environment to rubber, and he's able to overpower Katakuri to that. I mean, something like that could happen. Either Gear 5th or awakened Devil Fruit. That's what I think is bound to happen if Luffy is going to get a power-up to win this fight. Now, that's to say if he's going to win the fight. Now, if he doesn't win the fight, then he's just going to need to stall long enough where he can get out of there. And I'm just curious to see how this is all going to be done. But overall, though, when it comes to the fight, it was spectacular. Even though there was like only 5 or so pages of it, it was a really good segment of the chapter, and the artwork was beautiful. Beautiful. 10 out of 10 artwork from Oda Sensei from this chapter. It was quality. The artwork was on a whole new level, and yeah. So let me know your thoughts in the comments below. I love you all so much. Please be safe. Chibi out.